impromptu live. I wanted to check in while I had a day off during the week to speak with my subscribers, people that always view the channel and don't subscribe, or whoever is popping on. I want to chit chat. So, of course, I titled this My Work, but I'm going to talk about work in general as a nurse. There was someone that mentioned something about making six figures on another um, video in a comment, and I wanted to verbally say more than just typing a whole bunch. So if you're on here, I think it's KC something, put that message in the chat. I do have my laptop, so I will be able to. Thanks for that. Like, I do have my laptop, so I'll be able to look at the questions instead of me looking at my phone. Because yes, even though I have all these subscribers, I use my iPhone to record. I do. My husband has the camera stuff and all of that, but I'm just used to doing this. So, but yeah, so I want to just chit chat a little bit. Here, let me do my sound check to make sure y'all can hear me. Because if you've been on any of my lives in the beginning, I pause, I get on my laptop, I make sure you can hear me. Or if you want to say yes, She Nurse Savvy, I can hear you. Perfect. And being that I see a few people that's on here, that means that you're not working today. Haley okay. Stevens Woo! Is leading the fight. Let me cut that off. Me mute my my MacBook um because the ad just came on. So okay, I'm glad that you can hear me. But here, let me get off of this. So that means that perfect. Okay, so I want to ask a few things. I do want to wait a little bit for more people to get on, but we can get started. So, for those that are watching, are you currently in healthcare? Simple yes, simple no. Those are quick little types. Or if you want to put a Y or an N, you can do that as well. I'm going to do a couple of not post. What do you call those? Let me see. Not post, but like polls. There we go. All right. Yes. Okay. I'm working. I have a 5 minute break. I'm gonna watch later. Happy Monday. Yes. Okay. Happy Monday. All right. I always keep my lives up, so I'll keep this up for you to look at. And hopefully, if you have a question before you go, because you're on break, put it in the comments and then I can answer that. So when you get back to watching this later, you have an answer if you have a question. All right. For the other people that's just logging in, are you in healthcare? Are you a nurse? Are you CNA, LPN, RN, CRNA? I believe there is a midwife that is very vocal in the comments that follows me. I love to see that too. Um, or if you work in the kitchen, or if you are in EVS, meaning cleaning a hospital, all of that. All right, RN. Okay, thank you. So my thing that I wanted to chit chat with you guys about is a couple of things. I'm gonna try to make it at least so this what is it in in D vibrations so that you can at least get a little bit of what I'm saying. So, when I make videos, of course I always do I listen to them, I let them say theirs, and then after they're done, I say my take. And what I didn't really care for is good afternoon. What I didn't really care for was I heard a lot of nurses don't take breaks. If that's you, put it in the comments. Do you take a break while you're at work? Let me know. Clearly somebody had a 5 minute break, but do you have a full 30 minute with your 2 15 minute break, or 30 minute, or an hour? Some people put all of theirs together and they have an hour break. Please let me know if you take breaks. Say yes, I take breaks, She Nurse Savvy, or just say yes. Uh, what's a break? So this is what shouldn't be happening, because this is the way that nurses get burnt out, guaranteed get burnt out, and you want to leave the profession because you're not getting your rest, or you want to use your break time to catch up with charting, or you'll have a snack in your pocket to eat and you're not fully walking away from the unit, eating your meal. If you need to watch a YouTube something, if you need to watch TikTok, Instagram, if you need to listen to some music, if you need to catch up on some phone calls during your break, you you're worth it. It's worth it. So, what I don't get is why. If you don't take a break, why do you not? I want somebody to tell me that in the comments, cuz I'm going to take my break. I don't care if I have a lot of stuff to do to complete. You still need to take a break during your shift. I don't care if I work 8 hours. I don't care if I work 12, 10. I'm taking my break. So for those that don't take a break, tell me why. Jeremiah, I'm not a sir. I don't I don't know if that was a typo or maybe it was being funny, but no, far from sir. All right, come on now. I need y'all to tell me. Okay, picking up other slack. My patients aren't getting proper care. Okay, for that question, or no, for that comment. Sorry, I can't edit that out because I'm not editing. This is live. Um, what facility do you work in? Do you work in long-term care, assisted living, in the hospital? Where do you work? If you got time to put that in the comments. For other people that do not take a break, why? And if you're not taking a break, how much time are you giving back to this company for them to automatically take it out anyway? Because some companies will write you up if you don't have a break, or travel ICU 15 years. I miss I miss travel nursing. I really do. Let's take a moment for my travel nurse career. Moment of silence. Them 3 years was good, okay? I'm not gonna hold you up. But it is what it is. So, okay, being that you're traveling, you're doing travel ICU, right? So you're already the help. So the company is getting their money's worth. Even you laughing, I'm so serious. I want to go back to travel, but I'm working on some stuff and I can't do it right now. The company is getting their money's worth because you're doing your assignment, right? But also, you're not even taking breaks. So when you're doing your contract, are you telling them that you're taking breaks and they're just taking whatever money out because you're getting paid more than the average staff nurse anyway? Or are you saying I'm not getting a break and then they're just giving you whatever that amount of money is added onto your check? Let me know. Because when I did travel nursing, I still took my breaks because that's just my mentality. I'm going to take my break because whatever is going to be there is going to be there when I'm done, after I eat, after I replenish my body, because nursing is draining. It's very draining. It's tiresome. And sometimes we set ourselves up for working 3 days in a row just so that we can have days off. Some people are in school going to be NPs, DNPs, CRNAs, and I hear CRNA school, you really can't work. So, but it's people that's doing all of these different things, and your body is like, I just needed a little bit of a break, just a small break. Okay, you get paid every time, sis. I let them know I don't take. Okay, cool. Definitely get your coins. There are some people that will work, clock out, say they had a lunch so that they won't get talked to, even though they didn't. They're sitting there trying to chart and catch up, and maybe they just need help with risk management, or not risk management, but time management with certain things. If you have patience, go in the room, knock everything else out, learn how to delegate to your staff. If there's no staff to delegate, okay, while you're in the room, oh, look, YouTube want me to do a Q&A question. While you're in, I'm gonna create a poll later. While you're in the room, create everything that you can. I mean, create. Do everything that you can. If you need to, if you don't have a tech, a CNA, or a PCA, and you need to do vitals before you pass the medications, get your vitals. Write it down on some paper, chart it, whatever you need to do while you're in that room. So with ICU, of course, there are more critical patients. I worked in the ICU before, actually, when I was pregnant with my almost 8-year-old. Her birthday is on Sunday. So you have to get everything, okay? Because ICU, even though you have minimal patients, they are really critical unless you have a VIP patient that's wanting to take a private room because they're somebody's higher up family member, and you just pretty much waiting on them hand and foot and just monitoring them, maybe giving them not hourly meds, but like Q4-hour meds, whatever. I think that people need to value themselves. Not saying that you don't travel ICU. I know you probably do. I know you want to get your patients the proper care that's needed. And that's why you have been a nurse, travel nurse for 15 years. You know your value. You want your patients to be properly taken care of, but you also need to learn how to delegate. So, question, since you're not taking breaks because they're not getting proper care, do you have any type of additional nursing staff to help you with your patients? Not other nurses, of course, because you know your nurses, you take care of your patients, your set of patients. But do you have any type of PCAs, CNAs, anybody that can help with getting that proper care? If they need a bed bath, if they need to be fed something, if thank you. If you need to do any additional things so you can do the other one, are they doing blood sugar checks? Because to my knowledge, when I was in the ICU, you could still delegate the blood sugar checks. And then, especially if they're on the insulin drip, that could be really crucial because you need to do, little girl, bye, don't come in here. Bye bye. Love you. Stop. Go watch TV. See, okay, go upstairs. She knows she want to be in this video, and I won't let her because I'll get sidetracked just like I was. Anyway, so hey, Vanilla Thunder. Um, so yes, I believe like when you're a nurse and you want your patients to get the proper care, delegate that to your staff. If you don't have any staff that can help with that, that's a lose-lose situation. So that means your contract better be paying you some good money. I mean, I'm not saying you get a $2,500, I mean 25, yeah, $2,500 a week contract when you have no staff to help. No, you need to be getting paid more. That's more of like a crisis. You need to be getting paid crisis money. Now, of course, regardless of how much you get paid, you do want your patients to get what they need. But is it going to be at the expense of you not taking a break at all? That's sad. That's terrible because you're tearing your break away. You tearing that up. You're not even doing it. Forget breaking away. I'm gonna get paid. I'm gonna get paid because I'm doing the work. I'm taking care of my patients. They need this proper care. But think about when you're not there with that patient. Think about when your day off, right? ICU, you work 312s. If you pick up more time, cool. But, or if you have a contract where you're doing 48 hours, you got 412s. But okay, you're writing back. Let me look at this before I go any further. If I delegate a bed bath, they'll wipe them with HCG wipes not acceptable. They need soap and water first. Okay, so I get it. You don't want your patients to be wiped up with wipes. I get it. Um, so since your delegation of you not doing this bed bath my way, put it like this. That's a good example though, because um people think that those wipes are easier, but really if you get soapy water in a basin and wipe the patient up, it's around the same time, right? Um, but put it like this. If you so say the bed bath, right? You delegated the bed bath, you see them wiping them up. Do you go behind them and give them a proper bed bath? Is that something that you would do? Because now, okay, they're squeaky clean, but now you're taking away time from doing something else. You're taking away time from maybe finishing your charting or going to the next patient. I get where you're coming from because you're thinking of the patient as yourself. You don't want to be wiped up with no wipes. You want soap and water. You can't put them in a tub, but the least you could do is get them clean, right? Squeaky clean. Some people are really good with bed baths. Some techs are really good. They'll wipe that patient down to the toes, okay? And then they'll lather on some lotion and it smells good. Hopefully the patient doesn't have allergies. But those are some good techs to have. We may not have those techs, but it's some good ones out here. Of course, when you travel, there's no way that you'll know who the staff is that you're working. You coming in there blind unless you've been there and you've extended your contract if you're comfortable there. So that's my question to you. If you see something done that's not to your standards, are you going behind the person that did it to do it to how you want it done? Because now I can see how there's no break for you. Or you're delegating and maybe they're doing something else and they're not doing it quick enough. So you go in and you do it yourself. Again, you have to be patient, delegate. If they're not doing it at all, that's a whole other story. But you have to take time for you. I used to be like when I did travel nursing at the height of the pandemic. I used to do case management and our office was closed in. So you would have to open up the door to, ask whatever questions to the case manager. And I noticed something early on. When I was taking my break, the nurses, because we're a team, right? Case managers are nurses. Some of them are RN, some of them are LPN, some of them are social workers. But we're a team for the patient, right? We're getting them discharged, we're getting them placement, we're getting them equipment, all of that stuff. Once I realized they did this, I left the unit. I couldn't eat my lunch there at all. So I would be sitting there chewing, right? Chewing, looking at my cell phone, totally computer off. Nothing is in my face, work related. I'm sitting here chewing. People will come in. Hey, are you on break? Yes. Okay. So when you get off a break, blah, 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 uh-uh. This is no longer a break. Have that happen to you. Please comment if you were on your break, even in a break room. Have you been interrupted by someone asking you to do something? Comment, yes, I've been interrupted. Comment, no, I have not. I don't need to know this because I know this has happened to me, even though it was in the past. I no longer stay on the unit when I'm eating my lunch, or I just go for a walk. It's starting to get nice outside. I'll go for a walk. So the reasons why I stopped doing that is because they'll go in the office, they'll say, okay, well, when you get back from lunch, I need you to do this. So now I'm stopping what I'm doing. I'm no longer focusing on what I'm watching if I'm trying to watch something. If I'm on a phone call, we're in a shared office. I'm not going to be in there on a phone call because people are nosy. They listen, right? So once you're stopping what you're doing to write down what their request is, that's time that they're stealing from your break, right? How many minutes? Maybe it's 2 minutes. That was your 2 minutes, right? A lot of hospitals they have a messaging, either a messaging platform or like Teams, or you'll do an Epic chat or something like that. They'll have something for you to message someone. So if they're away from their desk, they'll get it when they return, right? It's things that you can put an away message on, be right back, on lunch, whatever, on a call, whatever. Your break should be treated like that. Your breaks should be treated like that. Don't allow anybody to interrupt you. If you delegate something, allow them to do it and get your behind off that unit. When it's busy and I'm like, okay, well, let me just grab something really quick, because even in an outpatient setting in ambulatory care in my specialty that I really won't go over in particular because I don't want people to narrow down to where I am. I'm just funny like that about my jobs until after I'm done with them. When it comes to stuff like that, you eating, but then people come into your office. Hey, you on break? Okay, can you do this for me real quick? Can you pull this med out of the can You're taking away from your break. So now you want to be helpful for the provider, for the patient, right? You don't want to be one of those no nurses. No, I'm not about to do that, because then you look angry, you look mean, you look like you are not a team player, right? Then you step out of what you're doing, you swallow whatever food you got, and you run it out to get it. Once you run out there to get something for that provider, guess what happens? Someone else sees you. Hey, so and so. Hey, I got a question for you. Can you do? I'm on my break. I'm just doing a favor. So now the break no longer is a break, right? So now your food, if it's hot, is getting cold. It's no longer a break. It's okay to step away for your break. Don't go in the lunchroom, because if somebody wants you that bad, they'll go in there and be like, hey, I need you to do, or ask you a question about the patient, and they don't want to wait for you to come back from break. That annoys me because you don't value my time. And if you're allowing people to do that, you're not valuing your time either. I just really didn't like when I saw people say, I don't take a break. What's a break? Y'all work your butts off. 12 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours, it don't matter. You work your butt off. Get a break. It is by law. Okay, let me read this. I actually tell people to come get me. It's easier for me to interrupt my break than to return to my patient and have to call a rapid because a nurse used her nurse judgment and turned off my levo. Oh my God. You'll never get a break. You know that? You'll never get a break. Because if you're telling people to come and get you on your break, they're going to remember that. So when you're deep in like chewing, you resting and you're trying to debrief from what you just had to go through because it's time for you to relax, they're going to remember. So and so said to come and get them. I'm going to come get them. You can be having a bad day where you just need to sit down and relax a little bit, just to take that break, to drink some water, to eat a snack. They gonna remember. So and so said, "Come get me." You worrying about somebody to cut your levo off? That's terrible. That shouldn't be the case. Whoever your nurse is, that is, whoever the nurse is that's covering you, give them a small report. Don't just leave and say, I'm about to go to break. No, give them report on what's needed, right? If your patient is on levo, whatever the dosage is, if they're not supposed to be titrated up and down, say, hey, I'm just going on my lunch. Everything is good. Make sure that your tubing, not your tubing, your IV drips, everything is good for that 30 minutes to an hour break that you have, or 15 minutes, however it is. You have to tell the person, okay? Tell them. If you got to write down something, hey, like before you leave, you shouldn't have to. But before you leave, if you need to write down that, this is all good, leave it there. If something happens, ain't no come get me. Mm-mm, mm-mm. These are my patients. Leave this the way it is. If it's an emergency, right? And it's something that goes wrong with the patient, and the drips have been the same, and nothing new has happened, mm, depending on where you are, like with ICU, I know depending on the shift, you better call that resident that on call, you better call somebody. I'm on my break. Not to sound like that, but you will never get a break. You will get burnt out so quick. That's not fair to you. Okay? Let me see. Um, the struggle is real, but these are people's lives. I have been the patient. I have almost died over a dozen times. I get where you coming from. You will, okay. This may be a lost cause. I'm not going to have you to take a break at all. You're not hearing me. Everybody goes through trauma. Everybody has been a patient, whether it was a quick little patient, you was in the ER, whether you delivered a child, whether um you have any some type of chronic illness. Everybody has been a patient. Everybody that has seen a provider in their lifetime has been a patient. You have to give yourself some time. So I think it's past experience that you may have that makes you want to do the most and the best for your patient, and you can, but allow yourself some break time. And I know you're not going to listen to me, but you need it, because nursing will suck the energy out of you if you don't take that time back for yourself. You have to. You're important, you're needed. You got to love on yourself and take that break. Nursing is not a one person thing, right? There's a team, there's a doctor, there's a mid-level provider, or somebody got mad when I said mid-level provider, because doctors and mid-level providers have sometimes the same amount of patients. There's doctors, there's nurse practitioners, PAs, there's RNs, LPNs, PCAs or MAs or whatever you want to call it. And we're all a nursing, well, the doctors is not nursing team, but everybody else, that is a team, period. So you got to be able to allow your team to be there when you're not there. Okay? That's a past trauma that you have that you got to let go. Easier said than done, I understand. It's people's lives, yes, but your life is important too. Your break is important too. And I don't know if I'm talking to more than one person. If I'm talking to more, if I'm talking to more than just the one person that I'm talking to on live, let me know in the comments. But you have to take time for yourself. Prime example, and then I'm gonna look at some of these comments. For me, I've always taken my breaks, no problem. But for me, I have not taken a vacation in since 2019, right? A vacation like with my husband, like just a me, him vacation. Right during the pandemic, I rented out like a mansion for all of my children when they were all in the house to go and get away because we were stuck in the house. We couldn't do anything but go grocery shopping and get gas and then go to work if your job allowed it. The kids were in school, daycares were closed, you know. So this is my break away from everything. In a couple of weeks, I don't know if I'll still be posted. I may have to take a little break, but in a couple of weeks, I'll be taking my vacation, me and my husband. It'll be our 10-year anniversary. We deserve it. We need a mental break from healthcare. We both work in healthcare. And sometimes you want to always be there, right? You want to always be there for your job, for your patients, but you got to do something for yourself. You got to be stingy a little bit. This is my stingy a little bit. I deserve it. Just like those breaks, you deserve it. You get money when you don't get paid. I mean, you get money when you don't take a break, right? It's not the same comparison from a break and vacation, but both are needed. All right, let me look at these comments. They gave you a break and a lunch for a reason. Correct. No 7114. Uh that is the reality, sis. I'm not safe. The competence and indifference is real. You know what? That's sad because you're allowing someone's incompetence to burn you out. Yeah. You're allowing someone's incompetence to take your break time because you're scared that someone else will do harm to your patient while you're on break. Think about it. You don't deserve a break. You get paid as a travel nurse, yes. Don't you deserve to get a break? Your break is not going home, going to sleep. No, by law, you're supposed to have a break. Okay, these jobs slash careers I don't get that. Um, don't lives? Okay. These team members do not love your job like you do. That's true. You know what? Let me see. You should love our nurses, angels on earth. My mom loves our nurses. My mom loves nurses, then doctors, because the doctors don't know much. Let's take that back. Doctors do know a lot, but see, doctors are trained to do everything in a certain time period. So when they have doctor's visits and you look at a doctor's schedule, the doctor will have a patient at 8, 8:15, 8:30, 8:45, 15-minute increments. So that gives the patient that much time to talk, right? Hopefully it's a follow-up. And if it's a new one, they'll probably give you 30 minutes, right? So what they'll do, they'll let you talk, say what's going on with you, right? If you're new, they're going to order labs, ask you if you're on any medications, do you need any refills, um, as well as if they want something to like if they're looking at your vitals and you're not on like a blood pressure medicine, maybe they'll give you some time, have them have a follow-up in a month to see if you did your homework, to see if you made your blood pressure go down, if you're exercising, if you're eating correctly. If not, they're going to throw a pill there, right? So doctors know a lot of things. Do they give you the time to sit and talk, to express certain things? No. No, because they have a lot of patients in a short time frame. And a short time frame can be 8 hours, and they have, what is it? If you have 8 hours, um, and they doing 4 hour, I mean, 4 patients per hour. What's that? 32? 8 times 4? Yeah, 32 patients for 8 hours. So of course, for a 12 hour, they have to make sure that they're charting too. So doctors have either pre-wrote their spiel, and they'll go in and they'll edit it and sign that note, because having all these patients to chart on and you taking it home, no. They will dictate that mess real quick. And this is why they only give you like 5 to 10 minutes. When they get done, you know what I'm saying? They will get on that dragon, dictate, and then they'll go to the next person and they'll see what's going on with them. Right? So I wouldn't say doctors don't know anything. They do. Nurses, nurse practitioners, CNAs, LPNs, RNs, we spend more time with the patient for sure. So if the doctor has missed something, we're going to tell the doc, hey, did they tell you about X, Y, and Z? And then sometimes the doctor is so quick with coming in and out, hit my lip, that the patient forgets something. And let me know in the comments if you've had a patient that was there and they said, oh, the doctor was so quick, I forgot to say this. Let me know if that was you. Have you heard somebody say that? Can you tell the doctor this, and that? That doctor is already gone on to the next floor because they did their rounds. Doop, doop, doop. If the patient is asleep, they're not going to wake that patient up unless there's something abnormal. They'll probably circle back. But no, I don't think I don't think that they're going to wake up the patient. Sorry. Another thing, here, let me refresh my computer because something's going on. Another thing with and then I'll get back to the questions. Another thing with doctors is they have to tell you what to do, the order, right? They're telling you, oh, thank you for the sparkles. Kate, I appreciate it. They have to tell, so if you say nurses, I'm sorry, if you say doctors don't know anything, why are we working under them? Why are we working with them? Why are we allowing them to take care of us? They went through a lot of school. They went through internships, residency, all of this stuff in different areas. They know a lot of a whole bunch of different things. And then you get to learn your specialty. So I don't want to agree on that because they do know some things. I work for very smart doctors in their specialty, right? So you can't expect a neurologist to know orthopedics. That's not their specialty. That's not what they did. Um, you can expect maybe an urgent care doctor to be primary care because some of them are doing both, because maybe they're losing patients and they're not having a patient volume like they used to, and boom, they're doing primary care now with the urgent care on the side. I've seen a lot of that. So I don't want to discredit my doctors. All right, let me go back to the comments. Okay, okay, okay. And then I have something else to talk about. Uh, let's see. They don't know how to do the mechanicals. Nurses, doctors any day. All right. I've been a CNA for many years. It's the incompetence and indifference of the nurses I've worked with that inspire me to become a nurse. Well, I'm glad that you're inspired to become a nurse because, I mean, everybody's story is different. There's always going to be some nurses that don't know, right? There may be some nurses that have issues with learning certain things or remembering certain things, and it's okay. Hopefully there are nurses that have a book with stuff written down so that they could go back and say, oh, what? Yeah, okay, I remember. But some of them are not like that. Let's see. You are in school now. Perfect. Vanilla Thunder. How much time do you have left with school? Let me see. I broke my ankle when I'm in the hospital. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Yes, I wish you well wishes and that ankle healing, and you get the proper care and physical therapy, occupational therapy if you need it, to get back to, the road to recovery. Let me see. And you know what, you said you got crutches and a leg cast. I know that leg cast can be very itchy. Be careful if you are going in there and you're trying to scratch, because you could break skin and you don't want that skin to be infected. And then that when that all of that's done, you end up with cellulitis. You don't want any type of infection. Okay. Yes, I wrote down what my patient's concerns and my concerns are, and I write them on the board. I stay in the room to make sure the patient and I get sufficient answers. I know I do too much, but if you know you're doing too much, then what are you going to do? Come on now. I, if you know you do too much, put it like this. You already know what you're doing. You've been knew what you was doing, right? If your surroundings are not up to par, you're gonna do more. We know that. We understand that. But if put it like this, when you get off of work, do you feel drained? Do you feel like are you doing anything? Are you doing anything after work? Um, or are you going home, maybe eating dinner, or if you work nights, eating breakfast and hitting the sack? Are you functional? Are you functionable after work if you work like that all of your shifts? Please let me know that. Okay. I'm not a physical therapist. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Esme said N5M. I'm not a physical therapist. If you're in a hospital now, wait, did you say you're in a hospital now? Yes, if you're in a hospital now, talk to your nurse and see if they're going to give you physical therapy. Are you able to walk at all? Tell me that. Are you able to walk at all? If not, physical therapy should be something, right? So use those resources while you're there. Physical therapy. No, you're not able to walk. Okay. Ask your nurse if they're going to order physical therapy. You in a wheelchair, you have crutches. With physical therapy, they will help you do certain exercises. You don't necessarily have to be walking. You could do stuff in a chair, right? If you're using crutches, let them do their job. Okay. They have different ways for you to strengthen your body so that you can get back to normal. All right. Okay. Thank you so much, my leg hurts. I'm sure it does. And hopefully they're giving you something to help, maybe not take all of the pain away, but you need to do the resources with physical therapy for sure. For sure. Before you go, you need to do some stuff with them. Ask for it. Okay? All right, since I have nothing on my chat for now, let me go back to what I was going to ask you. Okay, we talked about breaks, no breaks. Um, and I'm gonna get to that in a second. Let me see. What are we? Okay, healthcare staff. What are we doing when you're off of work? I'm gonna say that first, then I'm gonna get to the next one. What are we doing? We got quite a few people in here looking. What are we doing when we get off of work? Are you going grocery shopping? Are you putting gas in your car? Are you charging up your electric car? Are you exercising at home, going to the gym? Because sometimes when you get off of work, you get a burst of energy, right? What are you doing? Please let me know. I need to know this because I'm thinking about doing some additional things with my channel. Of course, I always talk about the good, the bad, the ugly in nursing, but as a human being, we do more than just nursing, right? So I wanted to bring in some other things because I'm gonna tell you while y'all type it in the comments what you do after work. I'm gonna tell you, I in the beginning of the year, people are like, oh yeah, I'm motivated to lose weight, work out, da 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 da. She Nurse Savvy was like, nah, I'm good. I don't even want to do it. I was able to maintain my weight, right? I was able to maintain it by what I ate. Now, I recently, like one of my coworkers, she's a nurse practitioner. Share our we share our move points or whatever you want to call that. We share that our fitness goals on our watch. And it kind of motivated me to move a little bit more. So, yes, I will walk with her. We'll walk and talk in between, maybe a break time or after I ate my food, I will go for a little walk or whatever. So, but that wasn't until like maybe March. Usually people be quitting they exercise stuff by February or March. I was just kind of like starting mine, but I don't know. I wasn't, and it's not like I have to go to a gym. I have equipment in my basement. I have an elliptical. I have a dip bar. So, the little pull up bar where you can work your abs or you can hold on and you can lift your legs up to work your abs. I have a little mini stepper. I did like a video on that a while ago. And it's a stepper that you can step and then you pull up. I'm telling you. I have a what do you call it? A squat machine, right? So you pulling your body up and then you squatting down and you pull it. I have that. There's also a company that is trying to get me to get some of their equipment. And you know what? I don't mind it because this is gonna motivate me to get back to it. So, you know, um, you don't have to do such vigorous exercise. You don't have to do that in order to lose weight or to maintain a certain shape, right? Of course, my vacation is less than 2 weeks. I'm not where I want to be, but nothing is going to happen in 2 weeks unless you just drinking water more and eating less, right? So I I want to include like other stuff than nursing. It probably won't be as short. It may be more long form. So, the well-rounded parts of being a nurse, right? We take care of others. Thank you. I appreciate that, Rose. We take care of others, but we have to take care of ourselves. We take care of everybody out there. So a part of taking care of ourselves is what? During when you're at work, taking your break, drinking your water, eating healthy. It's hard to eat healthy when you're just trying to grab something quick. You got to put some fruits and vegetables or something, pack that to chew on and snack, right? Easier said than done. Um, you have to when you're out of work. For me, I pick up my daughter from school, right? I have to pick her up because she's in aftercare. So when I get to her school, then we come at home. And then I have a poodle that's 5 years old, Winston. I love him. That's my little spoiled brat puppy. Um, Even though he's not a puppy, he's just little. I have to take care of him. He's hungry, he's ready to eat and use the bathroom. So I take him, feed him, take him outside, play with him, check the mail, get in the house, go over homework, right? My husband, if he's off, I don't have to pick up the baby, which I call her the baby because she's the youngest. I don't have to do that. He'll grab the baby as well as the dog is taken care of. So I'm coming home, I'm taking a shower, I'm getting all that hospital off of me, right? I'm opening up my computer, I'm going on YouTube, I am replying back to comments, even if it's a simple heart, that mean I read it because I have hundreds of thousands of comments and I can't always write back. I love to do the little voice memo because I don't have to type that. I can just press the button and be like, yeah, so blah 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 blah. But when you're done with work, you still doing a lot of stuff, right? You get home, if you're a mom, if you're a wife, you doing wife duties, mom duties. Hopefully you don't have to worry about washing clothes. You do that on a day that you off, right? So you eat, right? You eat your meal. By the time you sit down, you watch whatever on Netflix or whatever, and then what happens? You have maybe an hour or two to yourself, depending on when you go to sleep, because you got to get up and do it all over again. We deserve more. And sometimes the more is people think, oh, nurses want more. They always want this, they always want that. Everybody should want more. And I'm not talking about more income. Everybody needs that in this economy. I'm talking about do more things for yourself because you'll turn around and look and you'll be almost retirement and you ain't did nothing for yourself. You just worked and then you did stuff around your family, which family is everything. Family is lovely. But what have you done for you? Okay, let me look at these comments because I don't want to keep rambling and I just miss some stuff. Okay, so I believe I asked, what do you do when you get off? I kind of told you a little bit of what I do, as well as it can be tiring. And your body is already kind of wearing down from you done with work. Now you got to do your second job as a wife or as a mom, and you at home, right? And you taking care of everything or whatever. And hopefully you have a helpful partner like me. My husband is amazing because he'll say, you ain't got to cook today. I got it. And, we always pack our lunches. He will help knock that out. Sometimes he'll do it. Oh, I already packed some of your stuff. All you got to do is put your fruit in there, your yogurt, blah, blah, blah. That is everything. That helps me to continue to function because when you're doing stuff beyond the time where your body needs to just sit down and relax, you just dragging now. You're like, oh my God, I'm tired. I just need to just sit down. I don't want to do anything. You deserve more. You deserve that break. You deserve that vacation. And recently, I've been taking my vitamins and all of that stuff. Recently, I've been feeling really drained. Now, I only work 8 hours. I work in a hospital setting, but the people around me, mark my words, people around you can drain you. Whether it's your coworker, whether it's your patients, whether it is your management, they can drain you. And I try my best to get away from those type of people. But if you are in the office with them, it's a lose lose, right? You just have to cut some of that out. Okay. I have more energy before work than after. Yeah, I mean it tends to be like that. Um, how they got the work schedule got us having oh, that's terrible. After work for me, mommy, time, cook, homework, family. Yeah. And repeat, right? You doing the same thing over and over. And you know what? Our bodies are accustomed to doing that. But say you take, like, say this holiday weekend, right? For some that work a 9 to 5, they're off Saturday, Sunday, and they don't have to work today. So they're off Saturday, Sunday, Monday. When you go back to work Tuesday, you get home Tuesday evening, you tired as I don't know what. Let me know if you agree in the comments. You are tired because your body had that little bit of a break. Of course, you wasn't really lounging around like you on vacation. You cleaning up the house. You washing clothes, you running errands, you going to the grocery store, you doing extra stuff because you had that extra day, but you're not actually relaxing. I literally took, I was supposed to do a lot of things on Saturday, right? And I was like, nope, I'm going to relax because I know I'm going to be beat down if I had stuff to do Sunday. Monday was kind of chill, but I did my daughter's hair. Sometimes that takes a long time. That girl hair is thick. Okay. Um, and then it's like, ugh, I didn't have a day for myself. So I literally, everybody was off. My husband was there. He don't do nothing. I don't want you to clean nothing. He took care of it. Right. Sunday I was busy. Okay. Monday is kind of a chill day, but I'm cleaning all of this stuff, prepping for the week. And I spent some time with y'all. Hey, and I spent some time with y'all. So I want to check in with y'all. I want to see how things are going. As well as let me get back to these, but I do want to talk to my nurses, nursing staff on the importance of breaks because a lot of people are not taking them. And you gonna get burnt out if you ain't burnt out already. The burnout is not from nursing in general. It's from you overly exerting yourself, not taking that time for yourself, whether it's breaks, whether it's just taking some time, PTO, sick leave, sick time, whatever, and just having a little staycation, go to a hotel, get a jacuzzi room, something for you because you need that reset. I don't care what nobody say. If you don't need a reset, you can log off right now. You can just get up out of here. Everybody needs a reset. Even kids, their reset is on the weekends. When they done with school, they getting a reset. And they have all the energy in the world. But they get a reset too. As we get older, we need to take time for ourselves. And I sound like a provider because that's something probably that one of my providers, my primary care physician may have said, or OBGYN or something like that, when I tell her how busy my life is. You have to take time for yourself. Easier said than done, but you got to do it. Okay, let's go back. I just started mine. I'm going for walks outdoors. Awesome. You know what is this is the perfect time to go outside to walk. Make sure you're hydrated though, because it's hot out here, or you're starting to sweat. You're starting to sweat. You need to make sure you replenish that with that water because you don't want to be out here fainting. Okay. I eat a protein rich meal, make sure that I'm hydrated, and I go for a walk. I do yoga, flow, meditation, or breathe before I commute home. Nice. Good job, Kate. Because you know what? During that time, you have a lot of energy still because I don't care what it is. You may be tired at work, but when you leave, tell me if I'm wrong in the comments. You get a boost of energy when you're done. I don't care if you worked 12 hours. You get a boost of energy when you're done from work. Soon as you head outside and that air hits you in the face and you're about to get in your car, you get a boost of energy. And then you want to do other things. Let me know if I'm lying in the comments. I get a boost, yes. I don't get a boost, you lying. All right, what else? Let me see. Any ideas for a quick dinner some days after work? Sometimes I'm so tired when I get home. Crockpot, crockpot meals, yeah, that could be something. Um, some days where we know it's going to be really busy and my husband and I are both at work, even though pasta is not our friends, I love it. Make meals that last a couple of days. A big thing of spaghetti. Make your sauce with everything. Thank you, Kate. Make your sauce with, I don't eat meat. I don't know if y'all knew this or not, but I haven't. Ooh, let me see. July, it'll be, is it 9 years? Yeah. 9 years I haven't had meat. 9 or 10, one of those. Um, so put all of your ingredients and sauce in the pot, let it simmer. Of course, You cooking all of the stuff. You put it in the pot, let it simmer, and then you boil your noodles separately. So you have this pot of sauce that you can use for 2 days, depending on how much you make. And then you make fresh noodles, and you have that spaghetti. Noodles don't take nothing. Your fresh noodles, you got your sauce, boom. You got a meal for 2 to 3 days, right? You don't want to eat that all week because stuff doesn't really last good in the refrigerator after it's cooked for a whole week. Like, ill. So lasagna is a good thing that you can prep. You can cook that. Say you want to cook it on a Sunday because you offer cook it on your off day. That's at least a 2, 3 day meal. But make sure that you put additional vegetables on the side with it. Like when we do lasagna, we'll do a hearty amount of broccoli on the side, right? I try not to eat breads because carbs is not our friends. But bread is something good too, in moderation. Um, if you want to meal prep certain things, like if you want to cook a lot on a day off and then put it into some containers. Like meal prep is good. Yeah. If you want to put it into some glass containers that you can kind of lock, or maybe the plastic ones, either or, that you want to kind of lock down and store it, you can do that. Um, Everybody doesn't like to eat salads, but sometimes people make those salad bowls where they have all of the ingredients there, and then uh all dry ingredients in a mason jar, and then they'll have the sauce, and you can just put that in there, shake that up. You can eat that as well, but it all depends on what you prefer to eat. But it's several things. I'm sure you can use YouTube University on what you should meal prep, quick things that you could cook, stuff like that. All right. I have to make time because you are right with retirement. Take your sick take your sick leave. Even when you're not sick, they are cruel. No, 100%. Okay. I have so much sick leave and I rarely get sick. So sometimes you gotta call off. Sometimes you gotta play hooky from the job. If you got time, you better call off and make it a good call off. Make it like meaningful. Like I think I've in the past, I think I've called off and me and my husband went on like a date. We call it a day date where the baby girl is in school. We went to eat, we went to a movie, and then we're done before we have to pick her up from school. Just to like have some time away from work, away from your kids, all of that, right? You don't have to call off all the time, but you can take that, use that sick time, that vacation time, because put it like this, everybody don't approve vacation time. You put it in, sometimes they're like, it's denied because we don't have staff. Okay. Know your policies, know how much you can call off, know what you have in your PTO bank, your sick bank, know all of those numbers. Go by policy. You need your job, but you need time away too. If you see that they're blatantly not letting you take vacation time, okay, call off. That's sick time. Do not do it a lot. Don't say she nurse savvy said I can call off whenever I want because I'm tired of this place. No. If you feel yourself as being burnt out, call off. Book you some spa treatments. I don't care if you have to go into these places. There's some places over here called Oasis, which I don't deal with Oasis because we found there was like some uh the news said that somebody had a hidden camera in one of those rooms, and like you can't fully get undressed, but you in your swimming suit or swimming trunks, and this is your time to unwind for like an hour, 2 hours, whatever you plan to do, right? Take that time to relax yourself. These not massage therapy, these massage places have deals. Go spend a few dollars on getting you a massage. You need it. You're tensed. You need to relax. You're not taking breaks. You need this time for yourself. When you get home, you're going to be a mom, you're going to be a dad. You got to do stuff at home. Take this time to unwind. You need it. And this is not a therapy session, but I know my nursing staff, we work hard, but we get burnt out. And how to not get burnt out so much is to what? I said it a couple of times. Put it in the comments. To not get burnt out so much is to what? No, I'm not Catholic. I'm Christian. Okay, listen, you better preach. Nursing and going beyond brings me joy. It's also my calling. It's doing for me others that absolutely drain me. No, it's killing me, literally. Doing for others. Hey, sis. Hey, brown baby doll. Okay, meal prep is helpful. Ezekiel bread or that bread with the muscle man on the bag are good. I don't know who the muscle man is, but I know that there's certain, breads that you could eat or whatever. Mm, um, so I try to not eat a lot of bread because I love bread. I love it. And I know how I can get when I'm eating pasta with a breadstick or Texas toast with garlic, butter, and cheese. Mm-mm. Nope. Nope. I already know I was pre-diabetic. I'm not trying to carb it up like that. I've had Ezekiel bread, but the best thing for me is to just not eat bread. If I eat it, it's in moderation. It's not like, okay, I might eat bread once a month, but it's not necessary. I don't necessarily have to do it. Like when my husband gets home from work, we're eating plant-based brats. So like Beyond Meat or Impossible, they have brats. Of course, this is not the cleanest vegan vegetarian meal, but we want to have something for Memorial Day, right? So we're gonna have that. I'm not eating it with a bun. I'll eat it plain. Call me weird. I'll eat it plain and I'll have like vegetables on top, whatever little sauce I want on top. And then I'll just eat it like that with some stuff on the side. But I'm not eating no bread. Not like that. Thanks for educating me on that. All right. Let me go back to my questions. Do you guys exercise at all? Let me know. Yes, I exercise here and there, not really. If you exercise, what are you doing? Remember, if you're going for walks, that's exercise. You don't have to necessarily be in the gym lifting weights and doing all of this. You don't have to do that, right? If you're trying to get them guns and you're trying to get them arms, yeah, but I'm trying to have a little soft feminine body, so I ain't trying to be all. You can't even see my arm. I'm not trying to be all buff. No, no, not doing it. I don't think my husband would like me like that, like all extra strong. No, I like to be softly toned. But do you go to the gym? Do you get on the stairs? People be doing them stairs and getting themselves together. Them legs be legging, okay? Um, a treadmill. Like I'm probably getting a treadmill in a week or so, and I'm gonna start walking on that because sometimes when I'm at work, I can't fully walk the amount of time for my break because I eat and then I walk. So whatever I eat is gonna not fully burn off, but help burn off. as well as I want to start walking on an incline. So, um, yeah, let me know. Do y'all walk? Do y'all work out? Do you do like, I'm not trying to, give her no nothing, but I love this girl, okay? Mom of three like me. Of course her kids are smaller, but Grow with Joe, I did a Grow with Joe exercise with my baby girl this morning. I was like, okay, you ready to work out? So of course we working out. I cut on my watch. I'm like, yep, I'm about to get this in because I don't have to work. So I'm not moving a lot around the house unless I have to go and do something. Like I literally went to the store, came back to the bank, just two things, but I'm not moving a lot. So I'm making sure that I'm hitting my rings because that's important to me. I would love to go, right? I would love to go this content creator's location in Florida who exfoliates you from head to toe. I forgot the name on the service, but it is in the city. Oh, that sounds relaxing. Walking just helps me clear my head, especially after an emotional shift. Yeah, you have to do it. You have to clear your mind. And some people they like to walk, some people like to play music and it can just be like that one video where the guy was doing all of this and he was all look, he took that quick little break. I like music. I like to play it in my car cuz, a little louder speakers. Um but yeah, so walking is everything to me. Now I do it, but I walk in a brisk pace. I'm not just doing a regular walk, and I need my heart rate to go up. I need for it to be meaningful. I need for this to make my heart pump. Okay, when I'm looking at my watch and I'm saying, okay, my heart rate is above this, so I know that it's counting towards burning fat, right? I'm an incoming nurse. Any advice? Sophia, tell me the specifics of what you mean. Because are you talking about you need report, like you need the right information given to you? Is it, are you trying to navigate charts? Do you need to, do you need to get bedside reports? So you're having the nurse talk right in front of the patient to see if everything is done and you're observing the room to see if it's any drips that's done or beeping, if the patient is sitting there in like a pool of urine from hours, if the patient is alive that they're giving you report for. Tell me more specifics. Sorry y'all, sometimes when I run my mouth I gotta hydrate. Okay. I'm still in high school, but I got my CNA. I'm not sure what to go into more. So, okay. So if you're in high school and you're a CNA, first let's stop here. When you say up oncoming nurse, I'm thinking that you're talking about like a person that gives medicine, like giving pills, doing assessments. Um Certified nurse assistant, that is a good stepping stone to get everything that you need um, for patient uh, care and transitioning into nursing. But you just got your CNA. First of all, let's say congratulations to Sophie. When coming into a job, depending on where you're working at. So I don't know if you are trying to work in long-term care. And let me just be 100% honest with you. When you work in long-term care, they look at your age. I don't know if they're waiting for you to get a certain age. 18 is probably it, right? They're looking at you and they're like, oh, Sophie's young. We about to run her. So make sure that you ask questions. Like, I don't know if are you working right now as a CNA? Let me know that first, Sophie, before I go too far into something. Because being a CNA can be very beneficial. but you want to line yourself up. Not yet. Sophie, where do you want to work? Do you want to work in long-term care, assisted living, the hospital? Tell me where you want to work. Do you want to be a home health aide? See, I'm about to go to college to get my RN, hopefully. So, Sophie, while you're while you have a certification for nursing assistant, where do you want to work while you're working on getting your RN? That's what I'm not sure what to work as of yet. Okay. Um, okay. You want to get your RN, Sophie? What specialty would you like to work in? And for me, I mean, it changes. When I was in RN school, because I was a phlebotomist first, so I was drawing blood. That was all I did. I drew blood all day. Okay. I did that to get my foot in the door. Then I did my prereqs. Then I became an RN, right? What specialty do you want to do? I wanted to work in labor and delivery until I started school. It was an eye opener because I love babies. I love, love, love babies. But there was some times where the mom would come in and the baby didn't make it. Those were the times where I would probably be crying with the mom. I've never had that issue with me. That has never happened. I don't wish that on anyone, but that's tough. That's tough because that little one hasn't even tried to do anything in life yet. Couldn't even make it. And the mom is always going to remember that little one. The kicks and the movements, all to deliver, and the baby didn't survive. So I definitely was like, nope, can't do it. Can't. Let me see. I was thinking emergency or ICU. I have my ENT cert. Okay, ENT cert. Okay, so if you have your ENT cert, Sophie, how old are you? If you have your ENT cert, you probably are going to be good in the emergency room for sure. That's not going to be the only place. 18. Okay, you grown. Uh Legally, because my daughters thought that they was grown at 18 too. My 20-year-old and my 19-year-old, which will be 20 and 21 this year. But they still call me, Mom, can you help me with yes. You still babies. Um, yes, I think that the ED will be great. Apply for the ED to be a tech, PCT, right? You already got your CNA. So you need to get your experience somewhere. That is a place where you get a lot of stuff under the sun in one spot. That's why I loved when I started my nursing career in the ED. It was everything. I wanted to see the trauma. I wanted to see the stab wounds, the gunshot wounds, the unknown. And then when you're there, you start to see the same stuff. Here and there, you'll see something new. What type of stuff do they do? ED techs? Okay. So depending on where, and this is something that you can ask in an interview setting, or if you go to a hiring fair, because if they have a hiring fair, they need people bad. Just I tell people go to a hiring fair, but if they have a hiring fair, they have a great need. They're not just hiring one person. They need people. So go to those hiring fairs with that resume and copies of your certification if you need to, and be like, hey, don't put it in their face, but hey, hello, I'm eager to join your organization. This is my resume. This is my certifications. When are you willing to, when is your next opening? Or when are you, because sometimes that's the interview right there. When are you ready to get started? Something. Don't be pushy, but some people are and they get in there like that. So, with ED techs, because I was an ED tech when I was studying for boards. Depending on the hospital, some hospitals will not allow their techs to do IVs. They won't. Some will. Some will allow them to draw blood. Of course, techs can do EKGs where you'll learn all of this on the job, where you're putting the electrodes all over the Oh, you can't see because yeah, it is under here. But yeah, so you doing everything on the job training is pretty much there for you. So of course, if somebody is bed bound and they need help with getting off a bedpan, of course you putting the bedpan on. Hold on, Pudding. Um, hold on. Not yet. Sorry, y'all. Um, she being a good girl. She being patient. Um, but yes, so a lot of the stuff that you do in the ED, you learn on the job. You have to go through certain little things also with like what do you call it? Of course you're gonna do classes and stuff like that, and they're gonna do different modules and they're gonna show you hands-on training with like little mannequins. Because people get sensitive when you call them dummies for mannequins, right? Okay. Give me a moment. I'll look at it later, okay? That dress is cute. Okay, let me see. I need advice. I'm an MSN prepared registered nurse. I'm currently working full time at a practical nursing program. My students falsely report things about me to my manager. Do I tell students about it? Do I tell student? So you work at an LPN program. You're master prepared. So question: when you say master prepared, you have your MSN, correct? Or are you almost done with your MSN because of um clinical nurse instructor? If you having issues with, you said yes, but I think I asked a couple of things. Do you have your MSN now? Perfect. Is it a reason why you are at this LPN school over going to an RN school? Puppy boo. Puppy boo. That's cute. Is there a reason why you're there? And is it just a certain class that's doing this a certain year that the teaching is my first job? Okay. But no, is it a reason why you're at this particular practical nursing school from any other school? You get what I'm saying? And what's tying you there? Is it something, is it your teaching style? I started as LPN and I wanted to get back to LPNs. I understand. Put it like this. You said, do I tell the students about it? You can. You can say, hey, I got, I got the reports from, the dean about people saying X, Y, and Z, and let's clear this up. It could be their perception. It also could be your teaching style. If you want to give back to LPNs, that's perfectly fine. Um, but if this is a constant thing, like maybe put it like this. Puppy Boo, how long have you been at that program? How long have you been at that practical nursing program school? How long have you been there? Couple years, 10 years? Let me know. Students are mad at me because the low grades first time they reported me. So put it like this. Okay. So you've been there not quite. Oh no, you've been there over a year. I'm looking at 2024 and I looked up at my computer and the date said May 25. Sorry. Um so maybe they don't like that, or put it like this. Maybe there's other teachers that's not as strict as you. Maybe there are other maybe the nurses are trying to keep a certain GPA, and with you maybe your teaching is a little more difficult than just a simple easy thing. You want them to use their mind, right? And I haven't been an LPN, but I know in RN school that teaching is different from anything else. So if they're reporting that they have low grades, do you want to offer them something to, and I'm saying, okay, you're strict. And there's nothing wrong with that. Because you know what? The strict ones we remember. If you had a strict nursing instructor, you probably remember their first and last name, what they look like. I don't care if it was 30, 40 years ago. We remember them. 100% facts. Do you want to give them the opportunity to, yes, yes, people remember. Strict is good. It is. But do you want to give them an opportunity to boost their grade by giving an extra credit assignment? Do you want to do that? Let me know, puppy boo. Strict is good. As a current student taking prereqs, I am grateful for my strict A&P teacher because he's setting me up. Yeah, my teacher right now. Yes, I have her number. School doesn't allow. Oh, shoot. I don't know, puppy boo. Um, so is it okay? Put it like this: you, the teacher, you know what's going on in your class, you know the grades. Is there lower grades? Are they failing your class and they would have to repeat? Are they, yeah, are they failing? Let me know that. So it's no extra credit, right? To give them a, because I think if the testing or if the teaching is more difficult for them, that they can't chat GPT that mess and they got to use their brain, is what it is. You have to learn. But if you're three are failing out of how, oh yeah, out of how many? Sophie, same thing. I have 8 students in my clinical course. Wait a minute. So I'm thinking that you're let's go back to what you said your title was. Clinical nurse instructor. Gotcha. I'm so sorry. Yes, you do. You teach clinicals. That is important. So I had I'm not gonna say her name, but I know her. Okay, I know that name because people and people hated her in my school. She was strict. She was a strict teacher. She was a strict clinical instructor, and it was all about for clinicals. That was my first clinical rotation. It was all about how you went in to go and do what you needed to do. She knew that we didn't know everything. She knew that it was stuff that we needed to learn. But if you didn't try, no. It's a lot of clinical instructors that have not failed any of their students. You would get failed more so from the lecture, but not clinical. But for her, you could pass your lecture and fail your clinical because it's two different teachers. Me, I would love to do lecture. I would love to do lecture. So okay, I get it. You can't do extra credit really for, well, you could if they had an extra case study or something like that. But if the school doesn't allow it, I get it. You got 8. So 3 out of 8, they snitching on you because they not doing what they need to do. So tell me really quick before I have this live too long, because people gonna be like, she nurse savvy. I'm not watching that full live. I said I was coming back later and I'm not watching it because it's taking forever. Tell me, what are they failing in? Like I remember for me, I think we had case studies to turn in. More of our stuff was more hands-on. So, if we give a blood pressure medicine, what's the blood pressure before? Are you taking the blood pressure? If we're giving insulin, what was the insulin level? Not from 8 hours ago. What is it now? Certain things were nurse judgment that you needed to know, and it was, I'm good, Ronnie. It was nurse judgment that you needed to know right off the back before giving medication. And in the I think we had minimal like papers to actually do on top of what we already had to do for our lectures. So tell me what they're failing in Puppy Boo really quick. Or did you already say it? Okay. My students are losing points for breaking clinical policies. Yeah. So if you breaking clinical policies, if you getting reports from the dean, what are you telling the dean? Are you telling the dean they're getting points removed from breaking policies? Like, it's not the whole class, it's three that are failing. So if they're not doing their part and they got to remediate, that one little curl, y'all, that one little curl. If they have to remediate, then I mean, how much more time do they have with you, and do they have any wiggle room to boost that grade up? Do they earn stuff for things they do right? Question mark. Um. So, but if out of the 13-week clinical, how many weeks do they have left? If they have a failing, three of them have failing grades. Then we okay, so they're halfway there. So if they're halfway there, do you believe that they have room to bump their grade up? If they're week 6, yeah, they got 7 more weeks, right? They got 7 more weeks. Do the right thing, right? Do things right, as Vanilla Thunder said. That should be standard. Yeah, it should be standard. So if they have time, talk to them. Say, hey, I got the reports from the dean about y'all reporting me for blah blah blah. But let's and I don't know if you told them why their grades are low. You probably have, but if not, refresh their memory. The clinical policy has been um uh, broken. These things are. Oh, wait. Let me see. I won't. I won't get fired. Well, let me hold on. Let me read what this was. If you're going into nursing and you're acting a professional and can't follow a dress code, I don't think nursing is for you. That is the easiest part. Be professional. Um, I'm scared to talk about the reports. Okay, so Puppy Boo. I wait. Let's go back to if you're going into nursing and you act unprofessional and can't follow a dress code. I don't know if it's necessarily the dress code that Puppy Boo was talking about. Policies are different things. It's not always dress code. It could be different things. It could be being on social media. Like I follow, I not follow. I find these videos all the time where people are going live at work. Like, why? Well, are you trying to keep your job? It's policies in place that tell you you cannot record while in a work setting. And even if you can record, it cannot be any patient. You have to have a work phone. It can't be your personal phone. It's so many things that people don't realize and they break that. So it's not necessarily just dress. Okay. Um, so when it comes to you scared to talk about the reports. Um, I don't think I don't think that maybe you could do you have office hours? If you have office hours, tell those three people do it one-on-one. Okay. You can do it one-on-one. If they're failing and you want to help them, I don't think it's an issue. I mean, check with your dean. I'm not in a school setting, so I don't know about that. But check with your dean to see if you can talk to those students. You can talk to them during clinical and say, hey, talk to me during office hours. I want to help you with some things. And it'll be more personable, you one-on-one. And it's not like you're just trying to come down on somebody because they're doing the wrong things. Hey, we're halfway through. I want you to be great. Okay. I want you to, this is what you did. This is what shouldn't be done. Right. Or you don't have to talk about grades, right? If they don't know their grades, I mean, you should, right? I want you to be great. This is what I saw. This is what you should do. Moving forward, I want you to pass every class in here, right? Um, and then do it for each individual. Of course, get the okay with the dean. I'm sure you could. I don't know policies with school and talking to students and none of that, right? Talk to them one on one. You don't want them to all come up and be like, oh, well, she was trying to tell my business in front of this and that. No, office hours. Or if you don't have office hours, take a little bit of time with them while the other students are out, doing things. Talk to them one on one. Go into a little room, close the door, let it be you and them, and say, hey, I got the reports of whatever to the dean about blah blah blah. I want you to be great in this class, but I want you to learn and I want you to do things by policy. This is what you need to do. This is what you did. Please don't do that anymore. Because if you were out working, that will be a lose-lose situation for you, right? So, okay, I do one-on-one meetings. So if you're doing one-on-one meetings with the students, do that. Separately is their business. If they talk amongst each other about whatever, that's them. But it's not you saying it. And you want them to be great. You want them to pass. You want them to remember how you took the time to talk to them to get them into a better area so that they don't have to remediate. But if they don't listen, that's on them. Okay. Let me see. My students are older than me too. And do you know how many people that okay, first of all, let's pause. If you're not following the channel, please do. Um, it's a simple follow, a like for this video, share it to somebody, all of that YouTube spiel, right? I am, and I really don't care to tell my age because I'm not in my 30s no more, but it's okay. I'm in my 40s, early 40s. And a lot of people on my channel, not saying all, a lot of them are older than me. And I'm teaching them things. It's some people that are retired and they're still learning from me. It's all about the attitude. If they're receptive to, thank you. If they're, I figured you were, but other people. If they're receptive to taking corrective criticism, cool. Everybody isn't. So you got to word certain things in a way where it's nice, but it's tactful, but you want them to succeed. And you got to make sure that you instill that in them. I don't care if they twice your age. Look, you have the potential of being great. There's some things that didn't go well. Let's change that now so that you can take this on to your next course and to your nursing journey and see how they talk then. Everybody wants to pass their class, whether they have to deal with somebody that's strict or not, whether they are smart enough or they're just hanging on because they need a little bit of help. Everybody wants to pass their class. Guaranteed they're going to listen to you. They got half the semester left to complete what they need to do to get better. And you know what? When they're done, they may find you on social media, befriend you and be like, oh my God, can you write me a letter of recommendation for my job? Because I really blah, 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 blah. You're going to be embedded right here. I don't care if they 10 years, 20 years, 30 years older than you. Who cares? You're the teacher. You're teaching them the correct way. You are a MSN prepared RN that's showing LPNs because you started off as an LPN to be great. All right, let's see. Because that is the bare minimum, it's common sense. You don't curse on the unit. Like, be so for real. Right. It's good. Professional at all. Okay. That sounds good. That sounds good coming from a student. Thank you so much. I'm already subscribed. Love your channel. I appreciate that. Yeah, but Puppy is calling out their unprofessionalism and they don't like it. And she probably is. But you know, the thing is, they got to pass her clinical rotation. So they need to shape up or they're going to have to remediate. And everybody that has been in nursing, that has taken their clinicals, that's taken their lectures, what happens? If you pass your lecture and don't pass your clinical, what's happening? You take both over again. That's more money, that's more time, and that's a little bit of embarrassment that you don't want to go through, right? You are giving them the opportunity to correct it now, mid semester. It's not like this is happening towards the last 2 weeks. You're giving them time. So, like I said, check with the dean, make sure that everything is okay for you to uh hold on, I'm gonna get to that in 1 minute anyway. Life is great. Check with the dean to make sure it's okay to do one-on-ones. And I mean, what you said, you do one-on-ones, so pull them to a side. Hey, I need to make sure that we clear some things up. Do you have about 5 to 10 minutes? Boom, do the same thing. Each student, you have them for clinical, right? Just pull them to a side, make sure they do all of their part first, pull them to a side, and then just talk to them. Of course, they're going to talk amongst each other to whoever, but you're not talking to them about other stuff, right? Other people's stuff. You're talking to them about them. So you got it. You welcome. All right. I missed the beginning of the live. Did we talk about how to get our resume together? We did not. We did not. Six figures come to Cali. Yeah. It's so oversaturated, but RNs make bank. You live there, yee yee. Okay. A couple of videos that I have made recently, but I've always talked about it. Me making six figures, right? Over $100,000 as an RN with a bachelor's degree. Um, my staff nurse job, yes, I make over $100,000 and I don't do any overtime. Um, I learned how to negotiate my salary. Also, when leaving, I've only been in this job for 2.5 years. So I don't play hot potato too much. But remember, I was a travel nurse for 3 years before even starting this job. I was already making 100,000. Any travel nurse that works consistently, at least 8 out of the 12 months, make 100 grand. Easy, very easy. So I was already used to it. Actually, this job is a pay cut because I was making way more as a travel nurse. So for the people that's asking about how to make six figures, tell me in the comments, how long have you been a nurse? What specialty do you currently work in? Because you're trying to get your resume together, right? And what state? California nurses, they probably making 100,000 after a couple of years experience. Um, New York nurses, same thing. Those are high cost of living places. They pay their nurses bank. Okay. Um, Let me see. What is that? I'm stuck in. And why? Because in the program here's a nightmare. That's fair. I don't have to do anything to get in my college. You killing it. I don't know. Maybe this is a conversation amongst them too. So I'm gonna let them have that one. Okay. But yeah. So of course, if you live in those high income earning states, okay, 14 years, med surge in Tennessee. I do local contracts making six figures, but I want staff benefits that I don't get. Okay, so cause see the benefit for me when I did travel nursing, and it was more so local because well, my last one was 2 hours away, but everything else was the furthest I went was maybe an hour drive. So yes, local contracts, you definitely getting six figures, period. You want the benefits. What benefits do you want? Like, of course, you don't want to, you have to, if you have to, you got to. But what are the benefits that you necessarily want? Because sometimes for staff nursing, you get paid a certain amount, you get the, or you get a pay cut to get the benefits. Tell me anyway, life is great. What benefits do you want? You got 14 years of med surg under your belt, right? You do local contracts. I don't know if you're comfortable with doing the local contracts or if you just want to go back to staff for the benefits. I'm not 100% sure until you tell me. But med surge is a lot. That's a lot of experience. It's a whole lot. Um, you were talking about getting the resume prepped. So I'm not sure how long. Okay. I'm not sure how long you have been a travel nurse, but think about your resume. You have 14 years. So, of course, you're going to put, you know, most places want you to have your resume only one page. I will max it out to two. Um, but when you do travel nursing, you definitely want to specify travel nurse, the agency. So, say you're doing your local contracts with Aya Healthcare, right? Aya paid me good money. Um, then you want to make sure on your resume that you have Aya Healthcare and then you have the time frame that you're with them. So say you was with Aya Healthcare from 2020 to current. That is showing 6 years of um 6 years of consistency with one place. Even though you may travel to different locations, you're under one agency umbrella. If you are trying to get insurance, 401k, PTO, disability if needed, insurance is high. Okay. So, dang, I used to know a guy that I would refer people to that gave a good rate for insurance for travelers. I never had to use it because my husband worked as a staff person, so I never needed to. I just didn't do insurance, and everybody was on his. Myself, the kids, everybody was on his insurance. So, um, there are agents out here. I just don't have any anymore. There are agents out here that will give you a deal for insurance, not the agency insurance. That's going to be sky high, right? But you need to have insurance. Um, for the 401k, have you heard of a Roth IRA? If you have not, and sometimes with agencies, they will, if you stay with them long enough, they will give you a 401k unless you unless you've opted out of that. Um, if you worked as a staff nurse before traveling, I'm sure you have, and you have money sitting somewhere in a account like a Empower or a Fidelity or something like that, where your money was already a 401k somewhere else, you know you can put money into that. You can invest into that. So call that company and say, hey, I'm a travel nurse. I want to put my money somewhere. How can I put money to aside for my retirement? How can I add on to this? and they may shift your account, because I've done this. They may shift your account to, instead of just a 401k, to a Roth IRA, and you can make deposits yourself. Okay. Let's see what else. Wait. PTO. So with, I think it was an agency that offered PTO, but I was like, for what? Because when you travel, you just take the days off that you need. And if it's too many days, they'll just tail it on the end of your contract. So, and then if you get sick, you get sick. So you have to do what you have to do. But for the PTO, I don't think I can help you with that. Of course, you have to do the pros and cons with travel. You can request certain days off in your contract. And that's a given. You could just have that. If you get sick, it happens. You just have to take that day off, and you don't get paid for that day. You can always ask, hey, can I pick up an extra day to, you know, finish out for my week because I was sick this day, or emergency happened and I had to take this day off. Can I come in this day? Um, but for PTO, just because you have PTO doesn't mean the employer is going to allow you to use it when you want. So what I miss for travel nursing is the summer months. I took them off. I had enough money saved, which I'm sure you got some savings as a travel nurse. I took the month off. I mean, I took, actually, what is it? When my baby girl was out, she didn't do summer camp like she's doing now, because I work, and I can't take off the summer as a staff nurse. So I would spend that time with her and my big kid to take care of whatever that was needed. So if I needed to go and take care of business with them, get stuff set up for them when they were trying to get into college, I would have all of that taken care of, right? The extra wiggle room, the extra footwork. If I needed to do some doctor's appointments, get my eyes examined because I wear contacts, go to the dentist, all of that stuff, I could take care of that when I wasn't working, because I had enough money saved. I had at least $10,000 minimum saved to take off a whole summer, so that my mortgage was paid for multiple months, even past the summer, right? So that's something that you could do. Let me see what else. Uh-oh, let me go back. Y'all talking about Cali. Remember, cost of living is expensive in Cali, but they gonna pay you for sure. I don't know if it breaks even or not. But yeah. Let me go back to where's always great. Always life is great. Where's your okay? Yeah, so disability, I don't I don't know who gives that extra. So you have to just kind of figure out what you want to do with where you are. Um, if you want those benefits, are you willing to make a pay cut to get those benefits? Um, because even though for me it was a pay cut, I still was making six figures, because I had to navigate through and negotiate and try to figure out, like, I'm not getting less than, a certain amount per hour. That was a no. And then I had leadership under my belt. So I was a supervisor. So it's kind of like certain places look at what you did in the past, and they're like, okay, well, yeah, been a charge nurse, you know, you got to really beef up that resume. Okay. If you was a charge nurse, put that there. That needs to be in that part of your resume. Charge nurse for med surg unit, blah, 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 for X amount of years or whatever. Um, whatever your degree is in, if you got your bachelor's, if you're working on getting your master's, if you just got your associates, all of that just needs to be there. But you need to, like, if you need to chat GPT, um give me some, and I don't know, I'm just really going off the top of my head, give me some good um keywords for a med surge nurse of 14 years for a resume. And look at those keywords and start adding them to your resume and make it make sense. Because I mean, they want to look at your resume and be like, wow. Because think about this. I'm not going to tell you no lies with this. When it comes to you being hired, the nursing, uh, the nursing department is going to give you a certain amount. They're going to offer you a certain amount. Remember, that is not the highest that they could give you. Learn how to negotiate. Once you get the amount that you want, cool. Sign the offer letter. If they're not willing to negotiate, because you know every job that you get in, you're going to be working your butt off, right? It's not going to be a cake job. Everybody is short staffed. Learn to negotiate. If they asked you how much, do your research in the area to see what the average nurse in that role is making in the ranges. You have a lot of years under your belt. So that range should be more so on the higher end of what you see. So say 14-year med surg nurse in whatever state that you're in. Say the range is between hopefully not 80,000, but 80,000 to 120,000. And they're offering you like a $95,000 job. That's a good start, but you could say, well, I make more. I make more than that. So I was looking at making X amount per hour. What do you think? Give it a shot because you already doing local travel, right? You always can do local travel until you find that staff job that's going to make you want to no longer travel. I found the job that made me want to no longer travel for this time period. I mean, I literally had to because the house that I'm in is built. So I needed to be a staff nurse to get approved by the lenders to make this home. I had to do it. Now that everything is done and I'm like itching to go back to travel, I'm still thinking about other things too. All right, this chat is off the hook. I know you're having a conversation about something, so I'm gonna just kind of look to see. If you have any other questions, let me know. Let's see. I'm in Cali. I've been an LVN for 23 years. I finally finished my RN. Any advice for 48-year-old in an RN program? Rosa, do it. Be great. Find study buddies. Okay? Find study buddies in the program. You're going to definitely have them. Okay? So when you do your lectures, see who you grasp around. When you do your clinicals, see who you kind of link up with. And if something, if but you've been a nurse for some time, so it may be a small shift, right? It's a small shift from RN to LPN. Um, I'm sorry, LPN to RN, from phlebotomy to RN. It was a big shift for me, but you already have the experience. Find some people that you can kind of mesh with. And if you have study group, those are perfect. I had study groups with my people. I'm still cool with people that I had study groups with to this day. Um, but that's what I would say first. Find those study groups. Let me see. Okay, this is more of a conversation between them. You've been traveling for 12 years. Okay, life is great. Okay. Uh so hopefully, because I didn't even see this. Okay, you're commenting to what I'm saying. Wait a minute. Puppy Boo, I completed my APRN MSN program in 2023, graduated in 2024. Failed the acute. Is that acute geriatric? Uh, yeah, I think that's acute geriatric providers, CMP. I don't know what that P was. I'm sorry, I'm not. I'm sorry, y'all. twice, and I never accomplished six figures in my 12 years of nursing. I know first, I know first MP will. So, hmm, Puppy Boo, you're an instructor. I'm eager to know. So wait, you have your master's, you just didn't complete your exam for acute geriatric certified nurse practitioner, right? I've heard that Sarah Michelle is really good. Don't quote me because I haven't did any of that, but I hear, thank you, acute gerontology primary care nurse practitioner. Oh, thank you, ma'am. Appreciate you. Don't give up. You didn't pass those two? Okay, keep going. Try Sarah Michelle. She has different little options, and she has like a live review, she has a test bank, she has different little things. Try that because you can still teach. I for me, when I do my lecture, I probably would want to teach RNs because I've only been an RN. I haven't been an LPN. But yeah, so let's see. Absolutely, I have a Roth. I just missed the matching. Okay, so it's gonna be some things anyway. Life is great that you're gonna miss from staff to travel. You've been traveling for 12 years. So out of those 12 years, what your savings look like? Don't tell me the amount. Just say it's good or it could get better. If if you're living, if you're doing travel still and you're worried about 401ks, you need to put some of that money up. You need to put some of that money up because you have to think about your future when you're tired of nursing, right? So you got your Roth, max that bad boy out. Okay? Max it out and invest. I invest in the stock market. Never invest. Disclaimer, y'all, never invest what you cannot afford to lose. Because you're not gonna say she nurse Evie told me to invest and I put all my money in the stock market and it crashed. No. Um, let's see. Question. So RNs don't always get benefits if you work at a hospital, or is it specifically for travel? How does that work? So, no, that's for travel. So, okay, contingent nurses do not get benefits. They get paid more money an hour, but contingent nurses do not get benefits. Part time, yes. Full time, yes. For travel agency nurses, they don't get hospital benefits. The agency may offer them benefits, right? But the benefits that they give for insurance is going to be sky high. Okay, that's going to take a chunk of your money. Let's see. I need to go to Cali. Huh. Okay, can LVN do travel nursing in Cali? Yes, LVNs can. Do your research. Um, why is everybody in Cali? Most hospitals in Cali don't hire LVNs. You need to be an RN and have a BSN at minimum. So that's some good information to know. So for Michigan, of course, this is not the prime state to get your nursing money and all of that. Like Cali or New York, money wise. Um, there is there are LPNs that work at the hospital that I am at, as well as the ER that I worked at. They're starting to open that up. Other than that, a lot of LVNs or LPNs work in a hospital, I mean, in a nursing home setting or assisted living. And I mean, you could be in management. I mean, I know some people that's up there as a licensed practical nurse or licensed vocational nurse that make a good amount of money that don't work in a hospital. Let's see what else. Yes, I was very fortunate to have worked in med surg before LVNs were removed. I have experience under my belt. Perfect. Get the LVN to RN program plus. You have experience. Do you already retake your prereqs? Yes, I have. This is a whole conversation I'm reading between them, so I'm gonna skim through them and then go to whatever is asking of me. Um, Puppy Boo. So what do you want to do with your DMP? Tell me what you want to do with your DMP. Because I don't think you have to take boards. I don't think you have to take boards for your DMP, but probably because already if you're a nurse practitioner, right? I don't know this part. Educate me. If you're a nurse practitioner, you take your boards, whether it's your AANP, your AANP or AANC. I don't know, y'all. I'm sorry. Um, but you take those, and then when you level up to DNP, it's just you get your doctorate, right? You don't have to do any more testing, right? You definitely get more money for show. Okay. Um, but are you required? Because I know you said your testing you didn't complete, you didn't pass it. So, like I said, look at the Sarah Michelle to get that under your belt because when you get that credentialing, you getting your money too. Okay, you won't be subject to just teaching, which teaching is awesome. I think like I would want to do teaching myself. Um, but yeah, let me see what else. It takes multiple jobs for me to get a great salary. An LVN trying to get into LVN room, got to pay due to multiple jobs, don't qualify for. Oh, that sucks. So, nursey nurse, you said due to multiple jobs, you don't qualify for financial aid. Do me a favor, wherever you are, whatever state you're at, Google nursing scholarships. People fail to do this, and you're missing money. You're missing money, okay? Google nursing scholarships in your state. If you have multiple jobs, is any of the jobs paying for tuition reimbursement? Are they paying for you to go to school? If they are, they're gonna want to keep you. Nurse Corps, yes. Nurse Corps is really good. I think I did a something for it. I actually applied for like tuition reimbursement, like loan repayment. I didn't get it, but I tried. The least I could think I could do was try, because if I got it, cool. If not, I try and I can keep trying for the next. Um yeah, but it's more to just the Nurse Corps scholarship. It's other scholarships too. So you just got to do your research. There are several platforms that you can Google to get nursing scholarships in your state. What's up, little one? Am I taking too long? Look at her being patient. All right, let me see. Let me see. After some emergency savings can get better. Yes, it was really good. I'm getting into investing now. Good. Definitely invest, because let that money sit there and stockpile, right? So as you working and you putting money up, that stock market is going to increase your money when you ain't even thinking about it no more. Like even your stuff in your Roth IRA or in my current 401k, like the amount that I put in and the amount that's increasing because that is invested in the stock market is going to keep going up. So make that dollar multiply, okay, while you're working, while you're still young, while you can, so that when you're retiring, you can pull money from this place, that place, and you're not just stuck with it all being in one place. Get that Roth IRA, right? Pull from some of them investments, pull from that 401k, have some money in your savings, have a side hustle. You in this economy, you cannot do everything on one income. You can't. Even my daughters work two jobs. And I'm like, why are you working on it? Because they hustlers like they mama. So they don't let it get in the way of school. but like one is a weekend job and one job they could do part-time throughout the week. So you can't be naive to think that one job is going to be everything for you if you're not doing extra things. And investing is one. I'm trying to get them into investing myself. So my daughter, my middle daughter was like, for my birthday, can you buy me a stock? Sure. Because I told her the importance of investing, not you putting. I'm not talking about you. You too little. You heard her. Mom. Anyway, you got to teach people when they're young, you know? All right, what else am I missing? Um, After emergencies, okay. Investing is scary. So, Sophie, investing, wait a minute, baby, I'm not done. Investing is not as scary as you think. If, okay, let's give an example of you go to Big B Coffee or Starbucks or whatever little coffee shop. I don't drink coffee, but it's something. Say you drink coffee and you're addicted, or you go to Dunkin' Donuts and you addicted to a Dunkin' Donut coffee. High five, thank you. Appreciate that, nursey nurse. Say you go to one of those coffee shops and you have to have a drink at least once a day. Usually people drink two or three if they hopped up on caffeine, but that one drink, say that one drink is $6, $7 a day, right? You go 3 days, that what are you doing, Pudding? Stop. No. Oh gosh. She's on the other end of this content room of mine. Because it's a glass door. And she trying to get my attention. I promise I'm not gonna stay on here for forever. But the coffee thing. So you are spending, let's say you $7 a day, right? $7 a day and 3 days a week, 3 to 5 days a week, right? So let's just round that up. So 7 times 5 is 35, right? If you do that for 2 weeks, that's $70. If you do that for a month, it's $140. If you take away one of those coffees and you invested that one coffee amount into the stock market, I'm telling you, do your research. Don't say, oh, she told me to throw $140 in the stock market and it crashed. Mm-mm. Start doing some research. Look at ETFs. Look at single stocks. If you not single stocks. If yeah, single stocks. If you want to look into that, you can. But definitely think about, it's not scary when you putting something into the market and it grows. When you drinking that coffee, where the coffee going? In the toilet. Flush. Take that time to do your research and invest. It's important. Thanks for those hearts. I appreciate y'all so much. Hopefully, y'all subscribe to the channel. All right, let's go back down. So, Puppy Boo, I get a pay raise if I get my DNP. Cool. Yes, I will buy Sarah Michelle reviews, please, because you deserve that. You got your nurse practitioner degree. You should be credentialed with that. Get the DNP on top of that. And if you wanted to do like, if you wanted to do, my daughter is twisting in a dress like outside, so I stopped. If you want to do some stuff on the side, you can, because you got that gerontology nurse practitioner certification. You're already teaching. You get what I'm saying? So you get your DMP for more money, but you can already be getting money when you take those courses. Hopefully, Sarah Michelle, I think they have a guaranteed pass rate. Look into that. And I think Sarah Michelle has a YouTube channel. Now, a lot of people don't really watch Sarah Michelle's channel, but they own that website. Okay. All right. Let's go back down. I tried to get a scholarship, but my FAFSA was not done. There are some. Are there some when we are out of school? So out of school, no, that's more of like a repayment thing. You will get the scholarships while in school or before you start school, not when you're out, not when you're completed. Okay. All right. I know I've been running my mouth. My husband is off work. I'm about to get these little vegan brats together because we're gonna have our little holiday meal because he had to work. Out of high school. Yes. Scholarships. Yes, 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 Sophie. Out of high school. You can get a scholarship for college, honey. Yes. So if you want, like you said you wanted to go for your RN, look for those nursing scholarships now. Okay. Look for them now. If you get that CNA and you're working as a CNA for a facility that pays for your school, use it. Okay. The worst case scenario is they want you to stay with them for a couple of years because they paid for your school. Do it. They pay for your school. You welcome. All right, y'all. I'm gonna head out, get this food ready for hubby because he worked hard, 12-hour shift on a holiday. Hopefully it was smooth for him. But yes, I do want to tell y'all that I'm gonna start incorporating like things outside of nursing, right? So I may try exercise things. Like I literally just got a vibration plate the other day, and I'm trying to do exercises on that. And I hear that it's good for your lymphatic drainage. So I I'm gonna do more things like that. It won't be shorts. Maybe it'll be shorts, but it'll be like long form because nurses we have to take care of ourselves. A part of taking care of ourselves is moving that body outside of work, right? Walking, exercising, hydrating yourself, eating better. We know this. We tell people this. We have to do it for us, right? All right, y'all. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. Thank you for spending a little bit of your Memorial Day holiday with me. I appreciate y'all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.